What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. So this week we're probably going to be jumping into doing some more of the cage. Specifically, I want to get the door bars done this weekend. But before we do that, there's a couple things that I want to take care of on the car just to kind of make things go a little bit easier for us this weekend. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing right now, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what we're going to be doing at the moment. So the problem right now that we're having is I'm trying to get this chassis harness out of the car. And basically I just want to free up space inside of the cabin so that when we go to start doing the welding for the door bars later on, that we don't have any wires and stuff in the way, and we'll have basically all the metal and stuff exposed. Plus, when the cage fully goes in, I want to make sure all of this room is open just in case we need to do any extra welding. And plus, we're going to have to put the anti-intrusion bars in the corners over here, so we need to take this mat out anyway. But as it sits right now, the only thing preventing us from doing that is this big plug right here. So I don't know if it's just because my car is a right-hand drive car or it's because it's from Japan, but the way that this chassis harness is routed is different than what I've seen a lot of other cars, meaning that most other cars don't run through this wheel well hole right here. So I'm not sure if this was something that was done later on after the factory, or if this is just how it came from the factory, being that it's from Japan. But because of that big plug over there, it will not fit through that hole. So at the moment, we're probably just going to end up making this hole a little bit bigger, and that should allow us to fish that plug through here, and then this whole harness should just come out as one piece. I'll show you guys the other half of it too. So this was the part that was inside the car, and it's just a lot of jumbled up wires, but the relays and stuff for the interior of the car are in here as well. And then this basically just plugs in to these big plugs here, and that's basically how your chassis harness connects to your main fuse box. At least for the right-hand drive cars. I can't really attest to what the US ones are doing, but I want to say because they're basically the same things, it's probably the same exact way on a US car as well. But anyways, let's get into it. We're going to start making that hole a little bit bigger, try to fish that plug through, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's take a look at the hole that we made. So it's not too big, basically just enough that I could get that plug through, and that's all that I wanted to do. If need be, I can go back and fill that with a plate or something, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, so we'll probably just leave it for right now. I might just go back and clean up the edges just so that it's not sharp and we don't cut ourselves on anything. But now that we got the harness out, we can start working on getting this mat off of the firewall, and then we'll be in good shape for getting these door bars started.
Confusing, which is one from the
Okay, we just got finished pulling out that lining from the firewall, and everything looks great right now. All the bare metal is exposed. There's a little bit of sound deadening still in the car on the passenger side footwell and the driver's side footwell, but it's not a lot, so it should be pretty easy to get out. And then from there, we'll probably end up going and where all that seam sealer is down along the center and near the footwells. We're gonna rip all that stuff out, clean it all up, get it down to bare metal. We'll do some stitch welding all along the trans tunnel just to help strengthen up these main supports. And then after that, we should be good for the rest of the fab work, aside from when we go to seal up the car inside the cabin. But other than that, we're in great shape right now. The progress is coming great. We're moving through stuff fairly quickly, and I want to say we should be having this full car done in the next few months. I figure now would also be the perfect time to get these new brake lines installed, since in the last video we had pulled the brake system apart. So since this should be a nice, quick and easy job, I figure we'll go ahead and throw them on real quick. So let's get into it. Okay, and one quick final look after we've gotten these brake lines installed. I just wanted to show you how much angle we've gained. So before we were probably about 60-ish degrees, but now with these new brake lines and the fact that we don't have any more binding issues, we're able to get almost a 90-degree turn of the wheel. So this is going to be great for us. I don't know if we're actually going to be using this much angle, but it's nice to know that we could if we wanted to, and also that now no matter how much angle that we got, we can be at the maximum amount and we won't have any binding issues anymore. Alright, Travis from the future here. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about some of the issues that we were having with the cage, and I'm not sure if it was some kind of manufacturer defect or if it might just be parts getting put in the wrong order or something, but some of the bars in the cage that I'd ordered are just kind of slightly off, or some of the markings are off, and it's causing some problems with how things are like lining up and how things are supposed to be clearancing. So I'll show you guys what it is and then we'll kind of talk about it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see on the camera, but on the bar there is a small little mark right here, and that's the laser etching that's supposed to guide you on where you're supposed to weld the bars. Now if you notice, you can see that etching, and you can see that it's above where we actually did end up welding this bar. And that's only because where that marking is doesn't leave you enough space to actually fit these in here. It ends up being above it, and then they just fall right through. So that's partially why I'm kind of wondering if maybe there was a mistake made on this main hoop. So I wanted to show you the other issue that we're having with this lower bar. So having it welded where the laser etchings are is actually so low that it's ended up causing clearancing issues with the frame itself, along with this support brace for the seats. And because it's having those clearancing issues all the way up at the front right here, is leaving us about a 1 to 2 inch gap from the bottom of the cage to where it's supposed to be welded on the plate. So the fix for that is most likely just going to be that we're going to have to build some box plates for this that'll raise it up a little bit and be able to fill that gap, and hopefully that fixes the problem and we don't run into any other issues. But I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably end up contacting Cage Kits about it and see what they have to say, and then we'll go from there. Thank you everybody for watching this week's video. I'm glad we were able to get some work done on the cage. Hopefully we can get that thing finished soon. But other than that, if you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to follow along with the build, hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the bell icon to turn notifications on so you can stay up to date on when we put out new videos. Other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.